Getting out here just a little bit earlier. Got a full moon coming up here, shining down on the water. So it's either gonna be good or it's gonna make things a little bit more difficult. We'll find out here shortly. And we're here just a 6:15. Here at 19th Street on Boca Grande. Looks like nobody's here. Gonna get everything out and try to get a head start on everything. Looks like it's a bit windier down here than it was at the house. All right, we are loaded up. It is about 6:30 now. Sunrise is right about 7. I think it's 6:59, I believe. So we're gonna go out here and see if we can't get us some snook, some reds, or some trout. But it's definitely a little bit windier than originally forecasted, so we're gonna do the best we can. Well, the sun has peeped up. We're looking around for schools of mullet. We've seen a couple. We stopped, threw a paddle tail and some top waters and stuff over them. But nothing hanging around in those schools. So the water seemed a little bit cooler this morning than it has been. So we're gonna come over here to this wind protected shoreline and see if everything decided to come over there and hang out for the night. Holy shit. We had some tarpon blow up on the topwater there. I turned around and thought I had another hook up here of a tarpon, but turns out to fool me and was just a ladyfish. Ladyfish. What the fuck? I'm thinking it's a tarpon. The sun's coming up. I think it's time to switch away from the paddle tail, or from the top water to paddle tail. I'm still seeing some little bit of tarpon rolling out here, so we're still gonna give it a shot. I got it anchored up right here. We're right in between this cut. And when the water's flowing and a little bit of wind protection, we're kind of hanging out so we can hit all the areas. It's real shallow out here, and then it's real deep out this way. So we're kind of hitting everything we can. We're just gonna anchor up here for about 5 to 10 minutes. See if we can't get something to bite. Nice little trout here. Always wet your hands before you deal with these guys. trout. He is also 13. Nice little trout. Well, it's getting a bit saucy out here. Oh, we're getting a lot of cloud cover. The wind is picking up. We're gonna try it a little bit longer. If this wind gets any worse, we're gonna have to head back. On my way back in, there's the best fisherman of all, and what you don't want to see while you're fishing is a dolphin. He surrounded me for quite a while, so that was my time to just call it a day between that and the wind. Alright, we're all back at the launch. We're all wrapped up. GoPro died, but we ended up getting the day with 6 underslot trout. We got 1 keeper. We hooked up on that tarpon. Couldn't get it in. Caught a bunch of ladyfish. It's weird, the ladyfish are hanging out with the tarpon. The tarpon and the poor man tarpon are together. But we're all loaded up and gonna head on back. Out here the next day, brought my wife with me. She wanted to try to catch up on some tarpon too. She was jealous of my hookups, so we wanted to try day 2. But we started the morning here with some nice trout, and then worked our way over and got some hookups on some tarpon. Felt like a keeper. What's going on with my line here? Have you noticed that, like, when we were just casting around it before, that's where we were fishing the fish? Oh! Oh! It went off. Oh man. It was a tarpon. That was a big tarpon. Holy shit, man. Oh, let's get another one. Come on, give it to me again. See, they're hanging around that fucking nasty poopy water. Yeah, yeah. Ooh, this feels nice. He spit again when he got up in the air. I even bowed to him. Threw the hook out. Decent little trout. Ooh.
Ooh, he's big.
Yeah, I was about to say, I think we might have a keeper again.
He's way bigger than the other ones we got.
looks to be around 17. Hold still, buddy. Yeah. Pretty decent 17-incher. All right, y'all, we're back. Just wanted to go over some of the tackle that we use and some of the retrieval methods to maybe help you guys catch some fish as well. First off, we got the Yoziri 3D popper. First time taking this guy out. I really like it. It's got some hits on the tarpon, so sold right there. We landed some ladyfish, some trout, and then the sun started to come up, so we had to switch over to a paddle tail. That's when I switched over to the beer run. This guy has got a lot of gold flake in it, but it's mainly a white and silver bait, which is preferred go-to for me here. That's always the #1 color, just because all the live bait in the water is around those colors. Sometimes we add in some blue or some green to kind of mimic a green back. But I had that paddle tail rigged up on a weighted twist lock hook. It's about like this. What I like about these is you can make them weedless by just kind of putting the tip of the hook in, and can run over any kind of structure. Or docks, grass flats, oyster bars, anything like that. Can just kind of dart around it, not get hung up. But as soon as a fish, it's boom, hook exposed, fish on. So these are perfect. These are my go-to for most baits, especially all paddle tails. Occasionally we'll use a jig head if we're trying to get deeper. There's not a whole lot of structure, things like that. My wife, we use the same style weighted twist lock, but she used the Blue Pearl from Z-Man. This is a 3.5 inch. It didn't have as much success. A little bit smaller bait isn't working as well as the larger baits. We kind of wanted to do a little bit of test this round to see what was working better. In the wintertime, the Blue Pearl color was actually performing better than the beer run, which was a surprise to me. Typically the beer run is always a go-to for me. So that was where we wanted to see if maybe it was a size profile over color now, which seems to be more the case. So we're gonna try to throw a little bit larger baits from here on into the summer. I'm seeing more of a summer transition as we're moving closer to May. I believe May we're going to full on transition to summertime fishing, which we're gonna be looking for more areas with oxygen, a little bit deeper water, bigger baits. Overall, I think that's about all I have to talk about for Tackle Talk. Oh, the retrieval methods. We just kind of did a standard retrieval with small jerks. You can see in the videos that just enough to work the rod tip with the standard retrieve. The little rod jerks gives a little bit of extra attention and a little darty motions that makes some predator fish just kind of catch their eye and kind of seek it out over everything else. So that's been working great this time of year. Sometimes a twitch pause is doing well too if it's a little bit cooler mornings, a little bit more clear visibility, calmer waters. We used a 10-pound braid with a 20 to a 30-pound leader depending on what structure we're around. I like 20-pound leader for most situations. If we're casting under docks, things like that, where it's easy for fish to kind of break us off, we go with a little bit stronger leader. That way we can kind of pull them out of there and know in the back of our mind we can add that little bit of extra meat. But other than that, I think that's about all the tackle that I got for this round. Stay tuned. We're gonna try to have a video out every week for you guys for at least the foreseeable future. Hope you guys enjoyed. Thanks. Like and subscribe, please.